If you want to talk about peak fiction, we have to talk about the Shibuya incident that took place in the JJK series. Probably one of the best arcs in the whole series, and it's about to get animated. It sets up the plot for all the future events. The goal is to explain this arc in less than 10 minutes. Let's dive in. And yes, there will be minor spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just log out the video now and check out some of our other videos and shorts. The prelude of the arc, we learned that Mekimaru was the mole the whole time, and he's been working with Kenjaku and Mahito to get his body back so he'll be able to tell the others the truth. But in that battle, he loses. We are flash forward to October 31st, 2018, the Shibuya incident. This plan has been discussed since the beginning of season 1, and Kenjaku's plan is to seal Gojo and remove him as an obstacle. Gojo ends up getting sealed after seeing his long-lost friend's ghetto and not knowing his body's being controlled by Kenjaku. Mekimaru set up a contingency plan to help the others out in his absence. In his help, Yuji was able to tell the others that Gojo's been sealed, and the mission had been changed, that now they have to rescue Gojo. A series of different battles took place during this event, and we covered them in our YouTube short series, so please check that out if you want to get a list of all the fights that take place in the Shibuya incident. After alerting the others, Yuji and Megumi link up, and then they go against two sorcerers, Granny Agami, Arasaka. Granny Agami summons Toji Zenin back from the dead, while Megumi and Yuji defeats Akasaka. Yuji ends up leaving Megumi, and then he runs into Toso. Toso wants to avenge his brothers, and he fights Yuji and eventually defeats him. But after defeating Yuji, he realizes Yuji is his half-brother, so he has a mental breakdown. Anami, Maki, Ogi get trapped into Daigon's domain, and they're fighting a lose-lose battle until Megumi comes to assist. In the process of Megumi assisting and trying to destroy Dagon's domain, Toji Zenin comes in and helps and assists and kills Dagon in one shot, defeats him. After that, Toji attacks Megumi and they leave the area to start their own battle. But while everybody was paying attention to Toji, Jogo sneaks up and kills the Zenin clan leader and also sneak attacks Maki and Nanami. During the fight, Toji realizes that Megumi is his son, and he regained consciousness and ended up killing himself after asking him what's his son's name because he didn't want to hurt his son. Jogo did his sneak attack. He fed an unconscious Yuji 10 fingers to summon Sukuna. After summoning Sukuna, he kills the two little girls that Geto ended up saving in the Volume 0 movie and ends up fighting Jogo. The fight was pretty one-sided, and Sukuna ends up killing Jogo. In the afterlife, Sukuna looks at Jogo and tells him, "Stand proud, you are strong." We see a side of Sukuna that we never saw before. Ugly Volcano starts to cry though, after Sukuna gives him his props, I guess, whatever. And we get some foreshadowing for future events that take place in the current manga, of Gojo basically telling Megumi that both their clan leaders in the past died fighting against one another, and he tells him about his secret weapon ability that he has, that Megumi has. Flashback to current Megumi, and he summons the Zenin clan super weapon, Magahara, the Shikadami. Raga attacks Megumi, and Megumi's unconscious, but Sukuna comes and saves him. Says he has plans for him in the future, he needs to keep him alive. Sukuna starts his battle with Magaraga and defeats Magaraga. In the process of defeating Magaraga, Sukuna kills a good portion of the city, killing thousands of citizens. And then he wakes up Yuji and tells Yuji, "Look what I've done," and Yuji has another mental breakdown afterwards. Yuji gives himself a prep talk and continues to fight. Yuji finds Mahito and Nanami standing in front of each other, and Mahito does the thing that we know Mahito always does. He kills Nanami in front of Yuji. After killing Nanami in front of Yuji, Yuji versus Mahito, their final battle, finally started. Mahito split himself in two because he further wanted to break Yuji's soul, so he wanted to kill Nobara. Doppelganger finds Nobara, and they start their battle as well. So right now, it's Yuji versus Mahito, and Nobara versus Mahito's doppelganger. But in the battle, Nobara finds out that her curse technique, Resonance, is the natural enemy of Mahito. Once Mahito figured out that Nobara can attack both the doppelganger and his core of his soul, just like Yuji, he runs away. Mahito does a trick maneuver, and he confuses both Nobara and Yuji during the fight, because Mahito's doppelganger is unable to use Mahito's curse technique. You know, when Mahito touches you, you automatically die or deflate. The doppelganger didn't have this ability. So what Mahito planned to do was switch sides with the doppelganger and touch Nobara's face. And once he did that, he was able to kill Nobara in front of Yuji. Yuji has another mental breakdown because while looking Nobara in the face, Nobara looks back at Yuji and tells him that it wasn't that bad right before she takes her final breath. At this moment, Yuji's on the ground crying, and Mahito's just having the time of his life, just laughing. But Yuji's best friend, well, self-proclaimed best friend, walks into the room, Todo. Todo reminds Yuji that they are the men amongst men, Jujutsu sorcerers, and Yuji needed to get up so they can start their battle. This started an intense battle between Mahito, Todo, and Yuji, because Yuji found a new resolve to continue fight. In the battle, Mahito realized Nobara really damaged his soul, and he was not at 100%. He realized that he brought out the 120% of their potential. The battle continues. Mahito plans on separating Todo and Yuji, so he'll be able to have a fair chance against them. And it ended up being a series of different soul manipulation attacks and transfigured humans. But at the end of the day, Todo was too strong and overpowered the two transfigured humans. Mahito copies Gojo's domain expansion of 0.2 seconds, so he will have the time to attack Todo. Shoots off Todo's right hand so he won't be able to use the Booga Woogie, and his technique came back after using his domain expansion, so his plan was to kill Todo. But Todo slaps his hand using the Booga Woogie to switch side places with Yuji, and Yuji was able to attack Mahito once again. In this process, Mahito realized his true essence of his soul and transformed into his cursed spirit form. Todo tricks Mahito to believe that he still has the Booga Woogie ability, and that gives Yuji the moment to land a final black flash that defeats Mahito. This led to Yuji's iconic phase, I am you and you are me. Yuji explains to Mahito how he wants to reject that thought of him and Mahito being the same, but after this battle he realized what he has to do. His purpose in life is to kill curses. Mahito does the thing that Mahito always does, and he tries to run away. Yuji chases after him. Mahito crawls on his hands and knees to Kenjaku. Kenjaku uses Geto's ability and eats Mahito's soul, so he'll have idle transfiguration to his arsenal. Every single sorcerer on the good side reunite on the battlefield with Yuji to face off against Kenjaku and save Gojo, but Kenjaku handles them easily. Those masters Yuki comes to the battlefield, the special grade that was introduced in Volume 0. Yuki and Kenjaku argue about their ideals about cursed energy. Yuki wants to break away, while Kenjaku wants to optimize it. Yuji interrupts their conversation and reminds Yuki that Kenjaku has absorbed the ability called soul manipulation. At that moment, Kenjaku activates that technique and uses it to wake up all the sleeping cursed sorcerers and items that he had locked away. Very moment, we see that Megami's sister wakes up. We also find out that Choso's father is Kenjaku, and we find out how Choso and all his 13 brothers were born. If you put 2 and 2 together, you know who Yuji's dad is. Or mother. Kenjaku releases thousands of evil cursed spirits in the area and leaves, and takes the prison realm with him, which holds Gojo. A couple days later, the Jujutsu Society deemed Gojo as a criminal and he should be executed. The execution suspension on Yuji was lifted and he needs to die. Principal Yaga was sentenced to death as well, and Geto's survival was confirmed. Higher-ups are blaming Gojo for the events of the Shibuya incident, saying he worked with his best friend Geto to make the events happen, but that's not really true. To Akotsuku, the special grade sorcerer, was assigned to executing and killing Yuji, and we end the Shibuya arc with a frame of basically Yuta saying how he's going to kill Yuji Itadori. And if you don't remember, Yuta is the MC from the Volume 0 movie. It's a wrap. This was the Shibuya incident wrapped up in 10 minutes or less. Please like and subscribe, and also check out our other videos where we talk about the different characters and their development during their journey in the JJK series. Thank you.